Hello guys, welcome back to Data Rant. I'm so excited that you've joined us again today. So today very quickly we'll continue on our Power BI series, and today we'll pay particular attention to working with time series data. So we'll be doing like a lot of time intelligence using data, how to get insights with time data that has timestamps. So we'll be doing a little bit on that today. It will be like a part one of that today. So it will be very much interesting. And then you know what? I have like a lot of amazing content coming your way. So you'll be missing out on a whole lot of that if you are not subscribed. So how about you just click the subscribe button now so you don't miss out on any of that. Okay, I believe you've done that. Alright, so let's go straight into what we have today. Alright, so now we are on our Power BI desktop. So we are going to read in our data. It's an Excel data. Okay, yeah, so we have like different sheet here. So the Power BI has identified the first three to be tables, and it's always advisable to go with tables, while these other three are like sheets. So in that case, but let's just look through it. It looks like, yeah. Okay, so this last three is just a replica of the first three. So let's just go with the first three because these are the ones Power BI has actually recognized as table. So let's transform the data so we can basically, run like a lot of transformations and just to ensure that the data is in the right format. So, okay, so this looks good. The columns here are fine. Let's look at this. Okay, this looks also very good. And let's look at the last one. Okay, so ship date is carrying like a number format instead of a date format like order date. So we need to change that. So we can click here and just try to change the date. And of course, I don't want to replace the current. I just want to add a new step so that I can track my progress. Okay, so this is showing error. There's something actually wrong. So we're going to do something. We're first of all going to change it to a text format which never goes wrong, and then try changing it back to date. So let's take this out. And that's the reason why I like adding it as a new step, so it doesn't basically overwrite what was done initially. So I'm going to change this to text. Yeah, add a new step. So I'm going to change this to text now. So this is text format. So let's try changing it back to date. Hopefully that would work. Add a new step. All right, so that worked. So yeah, so it's in the right format now for the ship date. Let's look at other columns. Ship mode, okay, yeah, this is fine. All right, they all look okay. So we can go ahead and start working with this data. However, let's try to rename this from Tableau 1, Tableau 2. Now that our dataset has been renamed and we've confirmed that everything is working, so we'll just close and apply, loading it onto the place for us to start doing our visualizations. Also, there is one unique thing that I like, doing, especially once we're working with date or time series data, because some of the dates here might not have orders or cells, so it should definitely be blank. So it's always good if you're working with like time series data for you to basically create your own date table that has like the full date from where you're starting to the end. So let's say you're starting like in this data set now, it starts from 2007 to 2009. So it's always good to have like a dates table that houses all the days from 2007 to 2009, because your data set that you're actually working with might not contain that. So we are going to actually create like a date table right now and just add to this data set. Okay, so in order for us to create our dates table, we just need to come to modeling, and then we'll see new table, and then we basically just input a DAX function. So we want to call our table dates table, and we are going to leverage on the calendar function to be able to create our dates table. So that's the calendar function, and it requests for like a start date and then the end date. So we're going to leverage on the date function for that. And then from this data, we know that the start date is actually like in 2017 and it actually ended in 2019. So that's the range of our data set. So we are going to use the start date. And so the start year is going to be 2017 and the month is January and the first day of January. And then the next thing is to use the end date and we're still going to leverage on the date function again, and 2019, and month is December, and the last day in December. So basically our dates table, it's created now. So if you notice here, you would see our dates table has been created. So now let's drag our dates table and try to show what it looks like. So we first of all create like a table here, and then we just click on our dates table, and yeah, so we can see the year, the quarter, the month, and the day for the time that we selected from 2017 down to December 2019. And then we can actually see the filters we want. It depends on what you want to keep, we can remove them. So in this case, we just want the month and the year, so we're going to remove the day and the quarter. All right, so this is good, but let's increase the size. So we're going to go to the values and try to increase the text size. Let's keep it at 15. Okay, so this is large enough, yes, for us to see. Okay, so the next thing is let's go to create some measures, since we really want to know how well the business has been performing for these 2 years. So we're going to be looking at the sales, the cost, the profit ratio. So we're going to be creating like new measures for this calculation that we're going to do. Yeah, so and also I saw in the tutorial, which I really like, something I really like, that in order for us to create the measure, we could either come to any of these tables and just right click, and you would see like new measure here, and you can easily create your new measure, or you can basically just come here and just click new measure, and a new measure will be created. And of course, we're going to be using one of those, but we don't want to create the measure inside any of these tables. So we want to create like a measures table, which is just not compulsory, but it just helps to keep your work arranged and keep your measures separated from, you know, the tables that you imported. All right, so for us to do that, we need to create like a dummy table and then use it as the measures table. So in order for us to create that, we just click here, enter data, and we'll have like a dummy format. Yeah, and we can actually just put anything since it's a dummy table, and just load the table. Now we have the table here, and we want to start creating our measures. But there's something I forgot, and I want us to go quick back into that. So now that we've brought in our dates table and then we have all of this, I want us to go to the model view and see how these tables are connected. So we can actually see that the Power BI has automatically linked these tables, and it's actually leveraging on the names, which is employee ID is joined to employee ID here on a one-to-many kind of join. Same thing with supplier ID, it's also joined to supplier ID here, which is very good. Just use the name to detect it, which is quite smart. Yeah, but in some cases it might not be correct, so you might also have to, you know, delete that and actually link your tables the way you want it to be. But this is good for what we want to do. However, the dates table is not linked, and if we really want to leverage on this dates table, then we need to link it. Now, one good thing about dates table is that it has all the dates from the start date to the end date. Meanwhile, your orders table might not have all the dates, because it's not every day that you might have like an order place. So it's always good to create a table that has data for the period that you're working with and just leverage on that. So for us to do that, we need to join our dates to the order date on this table. So you just click and drag that, and that will automatically join it. Great. It's still on a one-to-many, because this side we all have unique values, and then we have replicas here. All right, so this means our model view tells us that we are set to do any exploration or analysis we want to do. So let's go back to our data. So now we have this. We want to create measures, and like we said, we've already created like a table, a dummy table where we want to be creating our measures in. So the first measure we want to create, we want to calculate the total sales. So basically we just right click and then select new measure, and then we look out for the measure, and we are looking for total sales, and we'll be leveraging on the SUMX function. Now the SUMX function actually takes in like the table and then the expression. Now the good thing is the SUMX function actually iterates over this table that you would put in and perform this expression, which is always quite nice to use. So the table that we are going to use is the orders table, and basically what we want to calculate is we want to calculate the amount times the sales, and that will give us our total sales. So basically we have the total sales created here, and we might just want to see how the sales is doing for this period. So all we need to do is just to drag it in here, but we need to select this first and then drag the total sales in there. And we can see the sales performance for July, the total sales in July, that's all the way down to May 2019. All right, so this is great. So we also want to calculate some more measures, and then we can start detailing into our time analysis, but this is already like some form of time intelligence here already. We already know how the sales have been doing for each month of the year. So the next thing is we want to calculate the total cost. So same principle. So the total cost is basically the amount times the purchasing price. And yeah, we should have our total cost now. There you go. So we can also drag that in here again just to see. So now we have our total cost, and then we have our total sales. So we might just want to check the profits. So in order for us to check the profit, which is quite simple, we just create a new measure, and that will be total sales minus total cost. So let's call it total profit, total sales minus total cost. Now that's our profit. That's our total profit. So we can also drag that in here. And yeah, so that's it. So this minus this will give us our total profit, and yes. So this is what it looks like. And we might also want to calculate the profit margin. So the profit margin is basically the total profit divided by the total sales. So we're going to leverage on the divide function, and then we have our profit margin. We can also drag that in here just to see how well we've been doing. Okay, so this looks great. The profit is actually on the high side. Now we have this. So if you notice, we might want to change our profit margin and make it to be like in percentage. All you need to do is just to click here, and then you can basically change the data to anything you want, to money, currency, or percentage, or whatever. So let's just change it to like percentage. Okay, and you would notice that it has now changed to percentage, and you can actually tell the number of decimal places you want it to be, but let's just keep it at this. So now that we have this, now we just want to look at how our data has been doing. So we're just going to do like some few charts here just to be able to show how the time intelligence works with Power BI, and we'll just drill down a little bit. Yeah, so we would use like a bar chart. Okay, so let's call in our total sales and call in our date. All right, so I'm going to reduce this a bit. Okay, and try to increase this. So this shows our total sales for the different years, right? So if you can see here, you would see the year, the quarter, the month, and the day. So now this is how much we did in 2017, in 2018, and in 2019. So the total sales. And then we can actually drill down to how much we did for each month and how much we did for each quarter. So this drill down basically expands one level down on all of this. So basically, if I click on this, it will actually expand this to quarterly and expand this to quarterly. And we're just going to see that right now. So this is it. So we know this is how I performed in 2017 quarter 3, 2017 quarter 4, quarter 5, and all of that up till 2019, right? So we can also drill this down a bit more, and to tell us how well we're doing in each of the month, for each of the quarter, in each of the year. So yeah, and we can actually see how well we've been doing just looking at the data, the analysis, and you can basically still drill down, and it will tell you on daily basis, and this is like a whole lot. So it goes all the way down because it's actually taking in like on daily basis of sales. So this is quite amazing, and you can always go up a step up using the driller button and then finally we get here. So that's basically what this does. Now this drill down actually goes to the next level in hierarchy. So at this point now we are at the year level, and if we use this, we are definitely going to go to the quarter level. Now the quarter level won't be for each of the years, it's just going to be the quarter level generally. That's what this does. So this goes to like the quarter. So quarter one, this incorporates quarter one sales from 2017 to 2019. Same thing with these guys. And if we drill down again, it's going to go to the monthly sales for the 3 years. So in January, so it looks like we sold more in the 3 years in April. And next to that is February. And then it will finally go down to, the sales by day. So we have 31 days, and so for the first day, the second day, for the 3 years, it actually accumulates all the sales. So it quite looks like we have like a spike of sale when it gets to the 19th day of the month, which is quite interesting. I mean, you might want to pay deep attention if that was your business to know what might have triggered that. And then same thing, you could always drill up and go all the way up to how your data was. And this is very much quite interesting. And then we have like this next button. So this actually helps you to drill down on individual bars. Once you select this, you can always select any of these and drill down on them individually. So now that this is selected, I'm just going to drill down to 2017. Now this is the total sales for 2017 for quarter 3 and quarter 4 in 2017 only. And if we click like quarter 4, it's only going to show us the months in quarter 4 for 2017 data. So it just basically narrows down to each of the items you click in. So if we click in November, we're still going to go down to the days in November and how well we perform. Now, so you can always go up again, and yeah, so basically, so that's what this does. It just shows you how you can like drill down, leverage on time intelligence, and drill down and do all of this. So you can actually like do this and see how well you've been doing. So you might want to combine like your sales data and your costs to be able to see what really changed and what did not change, or probably your sales data, and then talk about the profits that you made. There's a lot of things to be done with this, but I just wanted to show us how well we can basically leverage on this time intelligence and do all of this. Now, something that is very important is once you're working with time data or time series kind of data, try to ensure that you have a table that incorporates the data from the start date to the end date. That doesn't miss any dates, because it's also very important. You won't be able to do great analysis if you don't have the full amount of data like we did here in our dates table. Always ensure you have like a dates table, because your orders table might not have everything you need. You might not have sales for all the days. So it's very important that you have a dates table that has sales for all the days. And then you could always narrow down depending on the kind of insight you want. If you want to see it on quarterly ranges, on monthly ranges, or on daily ranges, you can always narrow down to that. And so today I just wanted to point out that to us, and in subsequent videos I'm going to build up on the time intelligence and show us what more we can do. All right, so now that we've done that, now let's go back to this table that we created, and I might just want to rename it to measures table. So you just click and do a rename and rename it to measures table. And since we really do not need this column, so we can always delete it. And you would notice something that I'm going to do now. So we're just going to click on this, and so all of them, it still looks like a normal table, but once we're back from what we want to do now, you will notice that it will change. So pay attention to this. So I'm just going to click this, and then once we bring it back, you will notice that the measures table has actually changed, because all it has is actually like measures and not like regular tables like all of this. So thank you so much for spending time with me and looking through the analysis that we've done. I believe that has been insightful. And if you really enjoyed the video, how about you like and share it with other people that you know would have need for it. However, if you still haven't subscribed, man, you're missing out. So just click the subscribe button and click the notification bell. So once I drop a new video, you'll be the first to get it. All right then, thank you so much for spending time with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.